So I forgot to say some stuff. After the wreck, it was 2 weeks that I was actually in the hospital for my arm amputation. I got out for 3 days, went to rehab first, before they let me out of the hospital. And once I finally went to rehab and they was teaching how to rebutton your pants and tie your shoes, I figured I'll learn how to do this stuff when I get home. Got to put some shoes on or button my pants. So we ended up just getting out in 2 weeks from an arm amputation, crushed right leg, and they never put a drain in my chest and it ripped my arm off. So my chest got infected, had 16 ounces of infection when I went back to the hospital 3 days later. Was readmitted for another week, and so a total of 3 weeks I was in the hospital for my right arm amputation and crushed leg. Then had to go back every 3 days for wing vac surgery. Now it's going to start raining, that'll help the sound. Had to get wing vacs replaced in and out of my chest every 3 days. They'd pack a line and a bunch of foam down inside my chest, and then it would just keep the infection coming out. So after that, once I finally was able to, about a year and a half, I was able to start going out on my own without my mom, my dad, people with me to help me do stuff. And after that, I started driving. I think about 2 years it was, I started driving my truck again. Started driving a pontoon up at Indian Lake here in Ohio. And got to run the truck for quite a while. It took, I think, 7 years. I finally got back into a sprint car. We were a racing family. My dad was a professional dirt sprint car racer, Jack Hewitt. And my grandfather raced, my cousins, my uncles, we all raced. So getting back at what we did before was always part of our lifestyle. You wrecked in a race car, you got back on the horse and bit you, and you went back to racing again as soon as you could get there. Well, when I got hurt on a motorcycle, I really wanted to ride motorcycles right then, but racing was our family business, and I wanted to get back in a sprint car. So after 7 years, I got an opportunity to go race a sprint car again for a season. Did really well in them, not great, but made a bunch of features, 3/4 of the races I went to, and had a lot of top tens, so did pretty good in the sprint cars again. And once I lost the ride and I stopped racing the sprint cars, I wanted to get back onto a motorcycle. So I think it was about 8 or 9 years total before I got back onto a motorcycle. And when I started riding them again, I've been, I think, 7 years now. This is my 7th year back on a bike with one arm, and learning how to ride and stuff. The very first day I took country roads back up to my hometown, and I live about 45 minutes south of there now. Took back roads, country up there, had a great time, wasn't hard, just had to think when I stopped. My motorcycle isn't very difficult. You just have to think about what you're doing when you come to a stop, because the clutch and the gas is on the same hand. So the second day when I woke up for riding the motorcycle, I wanted to take the interstate. It scared the shit out of me. I didn't want to go out on the highway. I was nervous. So second day, I went right to the interstate and flew at 80 mile an hour all the way back up to my hometown that way, And so anything that really worried me, I got to get back and beat it. I can't let it beat me. So then it was four-wheelers after that. I wanted to start running the race quads, and that was something I did since I was 4 years old. Love four-wheelers. And then we just got to the jet ski here this past couple years, and I just got it running recently. So we'll have a bunch of videos to come. Again, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. Take care, guys.